Welcome back, ladies and gents. In this video, I'm gonna talk about yesterday's two matches at the ATP World Tour Finals. The two matches that was between Daniil Medvedev and Novak Djokovic, and the other one was between Alexander Zverev and Diego Schwartzman. It was the second round of this group stage, the Tokyo 1970 group, where Medvedev had the advantage because he won his first match and Novak also. Medvedev beat Sasha Zverev and Novak beat Diego Schwartzman. Both was straight set victories. All right, let's go into this. The first match was between Alexander Sasha Zverev against Diego Schwartzman. It was a three-set battle. Zverev won the first set, and then Diego managed to win the second set, and in the third set it was a decider, of course, and Alexander was the stronger guy in that match in the last set and won the match. And Sasha won 72% of his first serves in this match and 45 of his second serves. He returned he won 39% of Diego's first serves in and 44 of his second serves in, and totally made 30 winners and 38 unforced errors and converted only 5 out of 12 break points. And Diego won 61% behind his first serve and 47 of his second serve, and returned. He won in the returning department. He won 27% of Sasha's first serve, and I think it was around 41% of his second serves. And we managed to do 21 winners and 26 unforced errors, and totally had 9 breakpoint opportunities, but only converted 3 of them. So Sasha, before this match, because like I told in my preview, I'm not counting Diego to go through this group. So he's just here to play his 3 matches and get to play with the big guys. He deserved a spot due to his ranking points. I'm not gonna go into that, but he was really not competitive enough in this tournament. He is not good enough as these other guys on this indoor surface. But he managed to take a set out of Zverev, and that's because Zverev level is not looking super sharp like he was when he won the Paris Masters. I'm sorry, he didn't win the Paris, the tournament before, the 2 tournaments at Köln, and then he lost the final at the Paris against Daniil Medvedev, of course. So he's struggling with himself a little bit. I don't think if he's tired or something, but he's not rhythmical, he's not alert on his feet. He looks a little bit slow to me. So he played better than the first match, because his first match against Medvedev was terrible. He did all the kind of wrongs that you are not going to do on a tennis court. Massive unforced errors numbers, and plenty of double faults, choke in the right moments when you are supposed to win the points. So in this match, everything says it all. 38 unforced errors. He just hit himself out most. He could have lost, but he started out slow, but he managed to win the first set, and then he dropped the second set. His service percentage was not that high that we used to see Sasha perform in the first 2 sets. And when he raised his level in the third set, I think he had 79% first serves wins. Diego really didn't have a chance, because Sasha should have taken care of Schwartzman's serve, especially second serve, who is, according to me, the weakest of these 8 players. But that showed that Zverev is not a great returner. He hasn't been returning rock solid in these 2 matches. He's done that earlier this year, but he's very dependent on his serve. Without the serve, he will be just an average player, because his game is built around his serve. And Sasha yesterday didn't look sharp in his serve motion, but he managed to win 72%, and that's because Diego Schwartzman is not the greatest returner. He moved him around out of the court. He changed the angles in his serve yesterday, because I saw the highlights of the match, especially his serve, and his backhand down the line isn't accurate as before. His forehand, he has to improve that a little bit more. He has the power, he has the strength, of course, he has the length, but he needs to find the spots, he needs to find the lines, he needs to find the court, he needs to find the cross-court backhand better, and his forehand to really advance for this group. But now he has everything in his hand. He will meet Novak Djokovic. And we say goodbye to Diego. Thanks for participating here in the World Tour Finals. And that match is going to decide who's going to go through. The only positive thing for Sasha is that he has the racket in his own hand. He's creating his own destiny now. If Novak doesn't want to change that, of course he will. He wants to advance also. And what can I say about Sasha? He hasn't impressed me. He's the guy that has impressed me least, together with Rublev and Diego, but I wasn't expecting Rublev to do a superb match. It's no government secret that Diego Schwartzman is not good as on clay when he plays hard courts, fast hard courts, or indoors tournament. Everybody knows that. So all in all, it was great for Diego. He at least took a set. He didn't embarrass himself. He didn't get bagel in the first two matches. He didn't get a breadstick or something, if I can remember correct. So all in all, Diego, nice tournament by all means, even if you have to pack your bags or stay and watch the rest of the games. But Sasha, he really has something to think about against Novak, but he has the tools to beat him. But everything has to work. He can't go half measures like he did against Diego or Medvedev, because Novak won't accept that kind of tennis from his opponent. He will take his opportunities and just take him out. So Sasha has to perform tomorrow. All right, the other match. The Russian bear, the guy that barely misses. He dismantled, he took part Novak. He outmaneuvered Novak in his own game. He was the better version of him yesterday. But I have to say this, I've read in social media forums like YouTube and other websites that many fans are commentating that Novak wasn't up to his level. He was just not interested in playing this match, blah blah blah, a bunch of BS. Look guys, if you watched the game yesterday, Daniil Medvedev beat Novak. Novak didn't beat himself. He wasn't good all in all, but Medvedev made him look that bad. Because Novak didn't do a super terrible match. He wasn't outplayed. It was just, he met this strategic dude that was like a ball. And it's so hard to hit through the Medvedev. And Novak really tried. He really tried. He pushed Medvedev from corner to corner. Novak have the length. He has the angles. He has the, but he didn't have the pace. He didn't have the firepower, the real firepower like Team has to hit out Medvedev. That was the difference, because everything is sent to Medvedev. He put it in a wrap package and gave it back to Novak. And sooner or later, if you're not 100%, you will miss those balls eventually. And Medvedev was so calm on court yesterday. He was like an octopus. He had his arm all over the place. Even the smash, the overhead, everything. He really was there touching the ball. Sometimes he got the ball back in play. Novak didn't convince me super much, but he got beaten yesterday fair and square. And to be honest, Novak hasn't been, if you don't look at his first match against Diego Schwartzman, he hasn't really been himself since US Open. I don't know. It's not like he's not interesting in court, but I don't know what's happening to Novak. Maybe it's a mental thing, but if we summarize Medvedev, he did plenty of aces. I think he did 10 aces. He was accurate from his both wings, like he is. His unorthodox playing style. Like I told him in my preview, he's like Mats Wilander, tactical genius that make life sour for his opponents from the baseline. He always makes his opponent hit that extra ball. And then sooner or later, you squeeze upwards errors from the opponent. And his high consistency, don't forget that high consistency is the important key. He has kept this high consistency level since Paris Masters. He's still producing that kind of level of tennis, and he has low unforced error numbers. He only had 13 unforced errors in the match against Novak, and his mental strength. He doesn't let anything bother him. You can say that he's a machine. So if we look at the stats, Medvedev won 79% of his first serves, 61 of his second serves. He won 33 of his Novak's first serves when he returned Novak's first serves, and 43 of his second serve. That's great numbers. 43 numbers. If you're around that over 40, I think, maybe 50, maybe more, then you have a pretty decent chance to win if you serve great yourself. He did 19 winners. He pulled for the trigger at the right moments, but many of them were aces. So you can basically say that he made Novak hit out himself and make those upwards errors, because he put great pressure on Novak from the start. He took care of 3 out of 8 break points that he got in Novak's serve and won 6-3, 6-3 in this match. Novak, on the other hand, won 68% of his first serves in and 43 of his behind his second serve. That's a little bit low numbers for him that we're used to see, and that was one of the keys that he didn't win. And of course, he didn't return as we have seen him done. He did that on a couple of occasions in the match, in this match, but it was not the super consistency returning level that we have seen before. That's why he only won 21% of Medvedev's first serve and 17 out of his second serve. He only got one break point opportunity, but couldn't convert that in the second set. Medvedev was putting up a great point there, if I'm not mistaken. Like I said, Novak didn't do enough behind his second serve. He really tried to push. He put everything without pace, power. He lacked of huge power to hit through Medvedev. That's what you have to do. And that's why Medvedev was the better player. He dismantled with his strategically approach, and Medvedev really looks super solid now. He and Dominic Thiem are the 2 best players so far, without a doubt. And I'm gonna stick my tongue out now. I've now decided, because I like to see what I predict. I don't want to go just before the semifinals or the final preview to say who my winner will be. I didn't do it in my preview, but now I'm gonna say that based on what I've seen, like I told my dear friend Inter guys, who I think is the best tennis pundit out there, a guy that delivers tennis content with such a passion, with such a great knowledge, that is out of his world. And cream of the top, he's a super great friend and a human being. And when he says he's a great human lover, that's true. So, Dominic Thiem is my pick based on what I have seen, because he is really on fire. I don't really have to say anything about his performance against Rafa. I think that the guys that are following my channel are following Inter. So his match analysis from that yesterday in that 40-minute magnificent video really tells everything about Dominic Thiem's status and how he plays right now. And he has Rublev in his last match, and Tsitsipas is gonna take on Rafael Nadal in a blockbuster who's gonna send the winner there to the semifinals. And I think that Rafael will go through, maybe in 3 sets, but I will not be surprised if the young Greek takes him out. If he serves better, if Nadal attack, he will attack his backhand for sure. If he can keep his unforced number down on his backhand and just trying to push for winners more, he will definitely have a chance, because Rafa has the whole package. He has the good returns. He has the okay serve for indoors. His forehand doesn't bite on indoors, as it's not effective as much as on clay due to this lower bounce. But Rafa has improved in his volleying game, and we saw that against the team. He played 2 tight sets. It could have gone either way, but in the biggest points, team was the more clutch. He was a tiebreak king. He is very hard to beat in tiebreaks when it comes to tiebreaks. So all in all, Nadal will take on Tsitsipas. He will get through, and Dominic Thiem, I don't know his status, how he thinks when he's finished now, but of course he wants to win. And Rublev doesn't want to leave the tournament with 3 losses, so he will try to at least perform. We'll see how Dominic Thiem is, but I will give Thiem my slightest edge anyway due to what I've seen. But I will not be surprised if Rublev takes him out. And the match between Sasha and Novak, I think that Novak will advance like I predicted. Novak and Medvedev will advance from that group. But Sasha can take him out if he raises his level. Otherwise, he will pack his bag also. And that was all for today. Thanks for watching. Take care and bye-bye.